What up guys, Rents90, welcome to more Automobilista. We are here in the Mitsubishi Lancer, I think we're in the RS, and we are at Cadwell Park. So what we're going to do today is I am going to teach you how to learn this track, because I actually spent maybe 10 minutes trying to learn this place and I'm kind of struggling, so let's kind of learn it together. So usually when I learn a track, I kind of go slow, right? Because the easiest way to lose momentum and just kind of not really learn it is by going fast, right? Because the main goal when you're trying to learn a track is to not crash. So what I want to do here is that, especially given that the tires are really, really cold, I want to brake at least 100 meters earlier than I would, or if I have cold tires, try not to go along these corners at full speed, because you're just going to be going in the grass. The good news is that there's a lot of grass, so if you do spin or for whatever reason, at least you'll be able to find your way back. So just make sure that you stay on track. Make sure that you get a decent rhythm. I find that Cadwell's a really, really fun track. Not a lot of sims do have it. Maybe Project Cars? I don't know. I know Leno AMS1 had Cadwell, so of course R Factor has some mods. iRacing does not have Cadwell. I know that for a fact. We do have a lot of other British tracks though. This is the first time I've tested this car track combo in AMS2. I really, before recording, I was just testing a little bit. So if you really, it doesn't really matter if it's just Cadwell or any other track. If you just want to learn a track, I highly do not recommend using Racing Line, because this is a habit I picked up from iRacing. Main reason is because you spend so much time looking at the line, you don't really learn the track. You're just looking at lines, right? And I used to do that too. So going like iRacing as much as I did, I kind of forced myself to just learn tracks. I remember this one time I was trying to learn Barber. Oh boy. I took too much speed. One time I was trying to learn Barber in the IndyCar, the DW12, not the IR18. I basically spent every day for 2 hours to learn the track, and I did it 2 weeks in advance. So by the time I did my race at Barber, I was very, very comfortable because I had spent 10-12 hours already on the track. So if you want to learn a track, make sure to take the time to learn it and to commit to it, right? Because there's a track that I still have no idea how to race in Coda. I don't want to learn it just because I don't know what I'm looking at, right? But at Cadwell, I like Cadwell because it's a really fun track to drive. So, like, look at this corner, right? Oh boy, see? I almost spun it, I almost lost control there, but when I was doing the track going on the track for the first time, I basically, at that right-hander, I was braking at like the earliest marker, the second, third, and the last one. So I was gradually building up my knowledge of the track. So, especially a big track like Nordschleife, I'm still struggle there because with my learning style, it's really, really hard for me to learn this way, just because there's just so many corners. My strategy is to always just kind of learn each corner, learn the corner after that. Oh boy, I kind of lost track there, right? it's not as easy when there's a lot of corners, but Caldwell's, compared to Nordschleife or a lot of other tracks, is actually pretty good in terms of it's pretty flowing. And then afterwards, like, I look at that blade of grass, that pavement between the two grassy bits. That's kind of where I brake, right? And then the other way, kind of lost my bearings there. Look at that. Look at the curves, right? You know there's a curve at the corner exit. You know there's a curve at the apex. So we just try and aim at it. Try and track out at the apex outside. So. One other thing, like when you're trying to get back on throttle when you're at the apex, maybe go a little bit slower. Just to kind of learn where everything is. It's also not a bad idea to learn how to go like a little bit off the racing line, because if you're in a racing condition, so there might be times where if you wanna pass, you might not be able to pass on the racing line. So I feel that a lot of sim racers, they just kind of practice the track, don't really practice with people, and then that ends up really bad because you don't have that experience. You're not used to seeing a car in front of you. You're just used to seeing clear track. So if you get into the habit of, I don't know, not necessarily maybe racing the guy next to you, but at least learning their lines, or well, this would obviously be more applicable. This is applicable for both online and offline racing, right? Because AI is still a pseudo person, right? But honestly, this track I really like. There's a lot of undulations. There's a lot of it's challenging. So I think second gear is not a very good gear to be in with these kind of cars, especially medium speed. I realize that there's a lot of you kind of lose a little bit of grip. I really like this car track combo. I also like the Lancer quite a bit, just because it seems very nimble. I don't remember racing it in AMS1, but I knew it was in it. But this is the RS, if I haven't said that already near the beginning of the video. So I'm just going to narrate a little lap and come back up. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Hopefully I don't screw up. So I'll start finish. In the Lancer, I'm in 5th gear. I'm trying to look at the right side. I'm trying to brake. 4th gear here. I don't think 3rd really matters too much. Try and get as close to that apex as possible. Try not to hit the grass there. Set it into that corner. Hit those 2 curves as close as you can. We're going to be into 5th here. Still not quite sure which marker to hit. I'm going to hit this one. Try and stay in the 3rd, as I said last lap. A lot of wheel spin there. I recommend being in 4th, but I'll still be in 4th. So, see that curve, slow down a little bit, set the car in, hit those curves, go down, hit that one. You don't need to go into 4th, go down to 2nd. Hit those 2 curves here, track out. Be careful here, stay on the right. Downshift into second. Get on throttle. I like staying in third here, so hit those curbs here. Get off throttle. Go here. This complex is probably sneaky hard because you have to be in. I would recommend first because second gear is a little too low. So treat that normally. I really did not commentate the last two corners. Let's try and we'll go again there. Let's examine those couple tricky corners at the end here, at the end there. So make sure to be careful on throttle because this car really likes to oversteer on exit. And there too. Like, I don't know what kind of sim racer y'all are, but I'm someone who just... Oh boy, I kind of messed up there. Anyways, that's okay. I still want to focus on the last couple corners, and then maybe we'll try and do a couple more clean laps, and then we'll kind of end the video there. I'm trying to keep these videos maybe around 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. I probably can't keep it at 10 just because I kind of ramble quite a bit. So, which is why I'm not that type of YouTuber who does anything more than just do race videos, because I know I ramble. It takes a very long time for me to think about what to say and then say it. So sometimes there's a lot of empty airspace. If you haven't noticed, I kind of struggle a little bit talking in that ad. Like I'm not someone who really uses a script because I always go off script. So I would say brake at the beginning of the when the grass reaches the pavement. If you feel like you're oversteering a little bit, since we still can't adjust setups, yeah, just stick it in a higher gear. I don't think the gearing matters as much as, let's say, other cars on AMS2. But for now, just... I don't know, since we don't even know about the setup, I don't know if there's a differential. I probably would try and change it. And that's kind of the next part within, like, after learning a track and figure out what you can control in terms of your right foot and your left foot. The next thing is, like, what can you do to the setup? What can you change? What are the setup parameters? Is it tire pressure? Is it camber? Is it caster? Is it ride height? Is it springs? I don't know if there's... is it dampers? Is it differential? I totally forgot to talk about those two corners again, so let's do it again. We'll do one more lap. I promise I'll talk about it. See, this is my problem. I don't have a script, so I've always just gotta... I wouldn't say I'm rambling, but I'm just saying things as I think about them. I'm probably not... I'm not the fastest. I'll tell you that much. I kind of... I'm not that smooth. I kind of use the wheel a lot. And there's good and bad. I think maybe in real life you're kind of using the wheel a lot. In sim racing, it's a really bad habit, just because I don't know about AMS, but on iRacing, you can kind of get away with not running feedback, especially on the NASCAR side. I've done it a handful of times. I don't really like doing it, so I don't, because it just feels too foreign for me. But I don't think you can get away with not using feedback on AMS. I have to remember to talk about those last couple corners here. So we're going up here into second, so we're in third, we're going back here. So over here, after I go here, I like going immediately to the left. We're gonna go into first gear. That corner is pretty good. First gear corner. Second gear, don't go down in first. You can kind of just roll the throttle here and just kind of go on corner exit. You can probably go on throttle a little early. I was just going a little later just to kind of talk about it a little bit, but that is really Cadwell Park in the Mitsubishi Lancer RS, I believe. I'll have to double check it. And that's Cadwell. The reason why I made this video is because, like, sometimes I see a lot of people that dislike driving certain tracks because they're hard, and I feel that I don't think any track is hard outside of Kappa. Just because, well, Coda I can't race it because I can't see. Cadwell I can see. If I can see it, I'll try my best to race it. Like, there are obviously combos that I don't really like. Montreal is a terrible track if it's not an open wheeler, for example. Montreal is in Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. But I think Cadwell is a good kind of track for this kind of car. Touring style car. I really do hope that AMS2 does have a touring style car soon. Like a TCR or BTCC type of car. Just be a lot more fun, I guess. So I'm just gonna finish this lap and we'll end the video. Hopefully you've all kind of learned something about this car track combination, and I guess just my personal insights in learning a track, what I usually do and don't do, right? I think I really like these kind of tracks where there's a lot of undulations. So that's it from me, Rancer890. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you don't, I guess leave a dislike. But if you don't like my stuff, at least tell me what I'm doing wrong so I can improve for the future. Don't expect. I'm gonna try and do an AMS online race because the latest, I think, patch 3. There is online multiplayer capability. The problem is that they're all in cars that I don't like. So I'm trying to wait for, and I have no idea, like, I just checked before going and doing this video, and there were like 5 people online. So I hope that AMS2, there can be a bigger online presence. I don't mind AI. I just, after racing people for 3 years, you kind of don't really race AI anymore. So I use AI as more of a, because now iRacing has AI. I usually use AI as more of a training tool rather than just being seriously racing. Like I literally, in AI races, all I do is that I test my setup, I test certain moves. I just kind of, it's like a practice race before the actual real race with real people. So that's kind of how I want to approach AI, and I hope that there's a big enough online presence where I can do that. So I'm done rambling. Hopefully we'll see you next time, whether it's on AMS2 or iRacing. Those are the 2 main things that I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future. And we'll see you all next time. Bye bye.